the boys been baking again, haven't you? Yeah, what you been baking?
More rock buns.
But this time they're slightly...
No, well, I just did them for longer.
You did them for longer, so they're slightly browner.
Because you said you like them.
I like brown. I've been picking off the burnt bits because I like them. I've been picking off all those burnt bits.
Yeah.
And what else have you made?
Another surprise for you.
Another surprise for me. It is a surprise. Yes, it is. And I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing.
Yes.
Shall we show them?
Cheese straws.
Da-da, cheese straws.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look a bit pale in the camera, but they are nice colour in the flesh, and they smell gorgeous. And I'm dying to taste them. He's got another one in the oven that he's got to get out yet, but not bad at all.
I haven't tasted them yet, though, Deuce.
Shall I taste them?
No, not now. They're hot.
They're hot, right? Okay.
Cheese straws have to be eaten cold, surely. Does it?
Could be eaten cold, yes. Yeah, probably eaten cold.
We could try half. I'll give you half.
Now, somebody said that when you did it, you should put your thumb up or give the sign rather than try talking when you're eating it.
Oh. Well,
when you taste it, say whether you like it or not. See the cut on the thumb as well. Two of them. Very nice.
They taste cheesy.
That's why they're called cheese straws.
Yeah, I know, but you can when you buy cheese straws from like the supermarket, right? They're all right, but they're not as cheesy.
They're rather nice, though. It's rather tasty.
My beeper's going.
His beeper's going. Got to get his second lot out.
There we go.
Ooh,
Let's start to
nice
do it on
and brown nose. They're brown. They look yellow on the one. They look very pale on the camera, but they are nice and brown. Nice. Well, not brown like an orangey brown. They're lovely. Very nice. One of my favourite things, cheese straws. We'll have to watch. I don't eat too many.
They're what you might call a cheesy brown.
Cheesy brown, yes.
There's another half.
Oh, another half. Then we won't be eating our dinner because it's lunchtime. It's 25 to 1. And what day is it today? Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? No, it's Thursday.
Now the recipe said 3 ounces.
3 ounces of what?
Cheese, grated cheese. And I thought, that's probably not enough. So I put 5 ounces in.
Ah, but what cheese did you use?
Vintage cheddar.
Vintage cheddar, that's what it is.
So anybody
you can taste the vintage in the cheddar.
Anybody who does a cheese straw recipe, always, I'd say, I should have doubled the cheese. I didn't quite double it, but I would reckon double the cheese if you like cheesy straws. Yeah. You know,
so have we got any eggs left now?
I've got 1 egg left.
1 egg. Out of the 30, was there 30 eggs we had?
There were 30 eggs.
30 eggs, yes.
No, there were more. There were 36 eggs.
36 eggs, wow. Yeah, well, we'll just have to find something to do with that last egg.
I've got an idea.
Have you? What's your idea?
Do you fancy a race?
A race? What, an egg race? You'll win.
Egg and spoon.
I was just saying to Brian this morning, I'll turn this around so you can see me as well. I was just saying to Brian this morning that at the moment, my top half of my body wants to move one way and my bottom half wants to move the other way. I feel like I'm rather stiff around the hips. But that's because we did a long walk like yesterday again, didn't we? We walked up to the post office to post some letters, and then we walked away around, didn't we? So there we go. Hi everybody, it's Mission for Mission Makes. I got a bit of sunshine here, so I hope it's not too bright for you. Just a quick one, I wouldn't say it's a quick one because I'm probably going to go on for quite a bit, but I have to start by telling you, those of you who don't live in the UK, there is a young gentleman who celebrates his 100th birthday in May who is doing a fantastic job. Now let me just see if I can find a picture of him. Right, he's called Captain Tom Moore. And he's an old man, and I'll put a video up. It's called Captain Tom Moore, and look at what it says there. Don't know if you can see it, but this young gentleman is 100 at the beginning of May, and he promised his family that during the war, he said that the National Health Service had looked after him, and they'd always looked after him all his life, and that he wanted to pay them back. So he decided to do 100 walks, just a little short run, but it's 100 walks backwards and forwards with his walking frame, and he was aiming to raise £1,000, I think it was. This young man has topped today, so far, he's topped the 14 million mark for people who have donated money because of what he's done, and he's actually completed it, and it's amazing. I'll put the video on so you can see.
And here he comes, Captain Tom Moore, approaching his 100th birthday. 100 laps of his garden during lockdown. All of the money going to NHS charities. A guard of honour from the 1st Battalion, the Yorkshire Regiment. Inches to go, and there he is. Congratulations. Well done. Absolutely amazing, amazing achievement. Captain Tom, how do you feel this morning?
Fine. I mean, yes. I mean, I'm surrounded by the right sort of people, so yes, I feel fine. I hope you're all feeling fine too.
Now, isn't that marvellous? This old man has raised £14 million. Every time I go and look it up, it started off that he was raising £1,000, then it got to £1 million, then it got to £2 million, and it just kept going up and up and up. And I've donated as well. I was talking to my kids and I said, have you donated? And they all said, yeah, we've donated, Mum. He's doing a fantastic job. Anyway, that Captain Tom Moore, we're all, the whole country is absolutely amazed by him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets more and more money. So that was the first thing I wanted you to know, and I know a lot of you in the UK probably, you will know about it, and you've probably been donating money as well, so we're all pleased about it. But then I have another thing to show you, well, two emails to read out to you, and let me see if I can find them. I received, do you remember the lady called Barbara who had, she'd made some Lacala tops, and I did a little video telling you all about the Lacala tops that she'd made. Well, she's emailed me the other day and I got it. Thank you, Barbara. I haven't got round to replying to you. So I thought I'd read what she said. She said, hi Micheline, may I first say that I had or thought I'd sent a quick email after you had your Lacala vlog, but I hadn't sent it, and only this morning I'd noticed it was in my drafts. Here is a new one. What a different world we are in now to January when we were talking about the Lacala patterns. Heavens, I can't believe it. I'm now on furlough and thought, oh well, I'll get my house in order. Well, I haven't been able to do anything in the house as I've been sewing sets of scrubs, hats, laundry bags for our local hospitals from sun up to sundown. And this is what a lot of people have been doing. I didn't think I would have the time to do that, and I didn't think I could cope with the pressure of it. But a lot of you younger ones are making scrubs for all the hospitals, and I think in other countries that some of them are doing the same thing, because my niece in France is making masks and things because the hospitals asked them to make them up. They're using special fabric, and I gather that in America they're doing the same thing. And she goes on to say, my house is now a real mess with bits of fabric and cotton everywhere. It really is for a great cause though. I can't believe how many doctors and nurses are asking for scrubs. I'm just taking a breather whilst I wait for my next batch of fabric to arrive today, so I've stuck together a different pattern with grown on sleeves, which I hope will be quicker to put together. I do like your vlogs and always tune into you both. I love the magnetic clasp. As one thing with jewellery is putting it on, and it drives me nuts. Yes, that is one of the reasons why I do these magnetic clasps, is because especially when you get older, you can't, I find that your fingers aren't as good, whereas when you've got a magnetic clasp you just go like that, or if you do it at the front and it just goes straight together. The only downside about magnetic clasps is if you're fitted with a pacemaker, or Debbie, who works for us, when she when her heart stopped. What has she got? She hasn't got a pacemaker. She's got a... Oh, I can't remember what it is, but she said to us when she came back to work, she said, whatever you do, if I die again, she says, you can't do anything to me. She says, this has to kick in, and if it doesn't kick in, I'm dead. So, but if you've got anything, any kind of implant that runs on a battery, you can't wear magnetic clasps. And then she says, I'm really missing my mum. Although we Skype about 5 times a day, she's keeping really busy with jet washing the garden patio and resanding it and gardening. 89 this year, she puts me to shame. All these oldies are putting us to shame. And my dad, I remember my dad at 87, he had a big house in a village by the sea, and it was white. And he, at 87, was up on top. It was a 2-floored one. He was up painting the whole of that house himself. And we kept saying, my God, I hope we can do that when we're 87. Mum is in the vulnerable category as she has COPD. She has my brother at home, although she's always rolling her eyes at him. I know the feeling. But COPD, I think that's the other problem with this, because a lot of us are ex-smokers, people our age and above. We all were ex-smokers, and I think the generation above us, they used to be the ones that smoked the cigarettes without the filter tips. I think we started with filter tips. But before that, they didn't. And so they are so vulnerable because of that, and for their breathing and for the respiratory reasons. I live on my own, and it's hard, especially when I had a deadline yesterday to get the scrubs delivered by 5 p.m. and was rushing. It would have been nice to have had a cuppa and some lunch made for me. So bless her, she's really turning out this stuff, and I think they've got to have them ready by a certain time. Because she's got another batch coming in and she has to have them ready for them to pick up. I'm not complaining. I have good friends and we all keep in touch daily. We just can't visit, and I've been home for 3 weeks only, going for a walk, but not even been in a shop, as I have a friend who's dropped off plenty in the porch. So I do feel lucky. Keep safe and well. I did laugh at the cat in your finger. We've all been there with the little minx, haven't we? Yes, we have. I mean, she didn't mean to get my finger, but she did. And she was saying that the company she works for are looking after her. Her colleagues were also kind in donating to enable the purchase of the fabric so that she can put her time on furlough to good use. I felt very proud of them when I saw the donations roll in, and they're all so supportive and sending me their best wishes. So that was from Barbara. So thank you very much from Barbara. I also got another email from, now let me see, from a lady called Sue. Sue is in America. And I keep hoping to get to reply to these people, but I haven't had the time. Despite being on total lockdown, I've had so many things to do, I haven't had time. Anyway, she says, hi Micheline, I've been following your vlogs for almost a year now and have watched every one of them. What a joy you are. I get such a kick out of what you share and the projects you saw. It's especially fun to see a new one posted now that we're being asked to stay in our homes. I live near Salem, Oregon, USA, and have been inspired to get back into sewing. Back in the days of high school, I made a lot of my clothes and later married and took up quilting and then sewing for children until I discovered garage sales or garage sales. I would call it a garage sale. A posh person would call it a garage sale. Now I'm wanting to be more creative and sew garments. I especially love the vlogs you make of making thrift store purchases and scarves. I made a scarf that you showed, but just need to get out my guide to remember how to attach the buttonhole maker. How to attach the buttonhole maker for the one where you pulled a corner through. Love it. I also love how you piece together scraps of fabric to complete a top when you run short of fabric. Yes, no one would ever notice. I'm getting the sun in my face. No, I have to turn this a bit. Yes, no one would ever notice. Let me move a bit. I've lost my place. No one would ever notice, and good for you for finding a way to just keep moving forward. You mentioned that there are people who might want to connect to someone. I'm 68 and would be interested in long distance sharing if you wanted to share my email with someone. This is such a crazy, interesting time that we're all going through now. It feels important to reach out to anyone who might live alone. Thanks for all the sharing you do of your projects, Life with Brian, your love of animals, interest in sewing, being creative and your beautiful outlook on life. My husband knows to not interrupt when there's a new posting of yours. Years ago I had a neighbour who grew up in England. I loved hearing about her life and enjoyed her accent. She married a serviceman and moved here when they were married. We used to walk together every evening until they moved away. Anyway, my name is Sue Riley and my email is, and she's given me her email, so I'll put her email down below. If any one of you would like to communicate with someone who lives in Salem in Oregon, then please do. Then please do, because I'm sure she would love to hear from you. And maybe if she gets more than one, she'll enjoy communicating with you all. So that was the second one rather. The third one I have to read out to you. And please excuse the oh, I bet I've binned it. Let me see if I can bin it. It'll be in my bin. Yes, yeah. Oh no. Spam.
They're not bothered about your virus update.
Oh, yeah,